Welcome to the Outlier Podcast. I'm your host, Lauren Conlin, and I have a wonderful guest for today. Her name is Elizabeth Tabish, and if you watch the hit show The Chosen, you will know her best as Mary Magdalene. And I will admit, I have only seen season 1 so far, but my husband, he decided to go ahead without me and continue watching the show, and he is all caught up and he is obsessed. And by the way, I feel like that's a huge no-no in marriage. You don't go ahead of your spouse in a show. It's just should be a law, okay? But anyway, if you don't watch The Chosen, you really should consider it. Even if you're not a faith-based person, I feel like this show really is loved by mainstream audiences as well as religious audiences. And actually, at one point over the summer, they were showing The Chosen at a movie theater, and box office sales literally beat out Marvel movies like Madam Web. I mean, that movie was terrible, but you get what I'm saying. I mean, if it can do well in the box office and they're just playing reruns, I mean, it must be good. But let me tell you a little bit more about The Chosen. So, at the core of this show. It's a historical drama based on the life of Jesus Christ, and it's seen through the eyes of those who knew him best, such as his apostles, Mary Magdalene, and his mother, Mary. Now, it's clearly set against the backdrop of Roman oppression in first century Israel. So it shares just an intimate look at Jesus' life and his teachings, and it's so interesting. I mean, if you know the Bible, and if you've read the Bible or you're just familiar, you know that some of these stories are just incredible. So the show has over 200 million viewers worldwide. It's one of the most watched shows in the world, consistently a top performer across all streaming platforms: Amazon Prime, Peacock, Netflix, and now it's a top-rated broadcast on the CW. So what's interesting is that this kind of started as a crowd-funded project. So that's what Angel Studios was, and that's where the show originated, the Angel Studios app. So they used to crowdfund their shows and say, hey, if you want this show made, you should donate and you can become an investor. So some people who very early on were fans of The Chosen can say, I was an investor, even if they donated $100. But Angel Studios and The Chosen have since parted ways, which is why it's on Amazon Prime, Peacock, Netflix, and season 5 will be streaming on the CW. So I'm going to shut my yapper and I will play my interview with Elizabeth, and then I will close us out. Hi, Elizabeth. How are you?
How are you?
It's so nice to meet you. Thank you for joining me.
Thanks for having me. Yeah.
Of course. So I'll admit, I have only finished season 1 of The Chosen. I really like it. My husband, he went ahead of me. I can't believe it. Yeah, I know. He's obsessed. But I would love to know, do you have a favorite season thus far? And do you have a favorite episode?
Oh, those are that's hard to answer. I would say I think my favorite season to film,
Mhm.
probably, and it was also the hardest season to film, but it was, I think, 4. It was really challenging in a lot of ways, very emotional, but it like the entire cast was going through it together, so it felt like some wonderful bonding. And
Yeah.
we were like on set almost every day, and it was always hot and it was always dusty, and it was we were going through it, but it was together, so it was like it was so much fun because of that.
Mhm.
Um, I think my favorite, I we just finished season 5, so I haven't seen it,
Yeah.
but the storylines in season 5, I think I am really excited about
Okay.
to watch it. But I would say, I mean, episode 1, season 1 is probably my like
Oh, yeah, that was a great episode. I saw that, so I can attest.
it was the beginning of the whole thing for me, and it was cathartic, and it was very meaningful to get to to just get this role and to get to do these scenes. And yeah, I think that's my favorite.
I mean, it must have been life-changing for you. Can you just talk about how this show changed your life?
Yeah, I mean, I was about to quit acting. I told my agent to stop submitting me because I wasn't successful. I was doing commercial work, but it wasn't enough to pay my bills and to pay rent. And not very creatively fulfilling either. And so I had to leave my apartment and I moved in with my mom, and I was going through some a depression and really not knowing what I wanted to do with my life. I didn't know where to go next and what to do next. And yeah, I told my agent, stop submitting me. I need to figure things out. He submitted me for this, which was the first
Oh my
audition
gosh.
for like for a TV show in a long time. Like it was the first like theatrical audition with the real character and a real backstory and all of that. And I thought, if this doesn't work out, and I related so much to her character, to even the Lilith portion of Mary, like I was just like, this is me. And I thought if I don't get this, like that's the big sign. Like you need to let go of the dream. Um, but it happened. I booked it, and then getting to play it and grow with it and watch as Mary grows over the seasons. I feel like I've been sort of given this same permission to, like, you can change.
Yeah.
You can grow in your faith, you can grow in how you interact with people, you can get over your fears, you can get over the anxieties of modern life, of maybe of all life,
Yeah.
and find some real joy and peace in this world. And it's done some really wonderful things for my heart, and I feel like it's sort of broken it open, um, and I get to continue to do what I love, which was
Yeah.
almost gonna be quit,
That's an incredible story. Wow. And are you a faith-based or I'm sorry, a faith-based person in general? Did you grow up in any sort of religion or
Yeah,
what's your
I
background?
was I was raised Catholic,
Okay.
and I really loved it in at moments and really didn't at other moments. And then I lived in Oklahoma, so it was sort of the Bible Belt, and
Mm,
um I did not have great experiences with like church going people.
yeah.
There was a lot of exclusion, there was a lot of judgment, there was it never really felt safe or Christian to me. And so I was always a little
Yeah.
confused. I was like, well, I love Jesus. I love what he teaches.
Mhm.
But like churches didn't seem to relay that to me in my experience. And so I just kind of threw the baby out with the bathwater. I was just like,
Yeah.
this is um maybe this isn't the answer, And so for a long time I think I was looking for God in all the wrong places, um and the show has sort of reminded me of who Jesus was
Mhm.
as a revolutionary figure in history, what he was teaching, how absolutely challenging and almost insane
Mhm.
it was to say love your enemies, turn your other cheek, to not judge, to like all of these things are really, they kind of go against our survival instinct.
Mhm.
And it's just, you know, being able to watch these stories unfold in front of me and be involved in them is like this constant reminder of how powerful he really is and how these tenets and his message and um, his way
Yeah.
uh, can be so life-changing if you follow it. It's not easy, but it's life-changing. And it gives a beautiful life. It gives it's soul. It gives soul to your life.
I totally agree. And did you anticipate the show getting as big as it did? I mean, I know that it does have a mainstream audience. It's not just faith-based people. So I think that's incredible.
I mean, I think that's a testament to the writing and the fact that this is a really interesting story. You don't have to be a believer to get caught up in the drama of this story.
Mhm.
And, the mainstream audiences that are starting to kind of take notice and be interested.
Mhm.
Um, it's not that's not surprising to me because this is a beautiful story.
Mhm.
Um, how quickly this has happened is surprising. I was
Yeah.
expecting like maybe many years. I wasn't expecting us to get all the way to season 7 so quickly. But we just finished season 5. I think we're planning on season 6 next year, and it's happening. So it's really
Yeah.
exciting. Yeah.
Well, my last question, because we're almost out of time, I just want to know who you are the closest to. I love to know the behind the scenes, not that you don't have to tell me any drama, but just like who are you closest to? Who do you look forward to seeing on the set the most?
There's so many of the actors I look forward to seeing on set. I I'm super close to Jordan Walker Ross, and Paris Patel. We've always really been so happy we get to do scenes together, and our
Yeah.
characters really connect, and so I always look forward to doing scenes with them. Jonathan is such a such a wonderful person and actor.
Mhm.
His tone that he sets for filming
Yeah.
really kind of sets us all into a certain mentality. So I always look forward to working with him because he brings this realism to it. And Vanessa is another one of those actors where like suddenly I
Yeah.
think I'm with the mother of Jesus right now. It's like they're just these just incredible actors that I get to work with that bring so much heart to it.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are all amazing. So I want to thank you for just putting out such amazing content and doing such a wonderful job. And I'm so happy that you didn't quit acting because we get to watch you on screen. Really do a beautiful job. So thank you so much, Elizabeth, and I wish you well.
Thank you. You too. Appreciate
Mhm.
you.
Bye.
Bye.
And that was Elizabeth Tabish. She was so awesome to talk to. And so this was a press day for The Chosen. So everybody had 10-minute blocks. And I felt like my 10 minutes went by so fast. I actually was like, wait, did I actually get my full 10 minutes? And I timed it. I did. But I thought it was great. I thought she was so thoughtful and so interesting. And I can't believe she was going to give up acting right before she got this role. And I've heard people say that before. If I didn't get this role, I was ready to quit. So I always like hearing stories like that. And I'm so glad that she didn't quit because she really is just beautiful in that show. So, all right, make sure you watch The Chosen pretty much on any streaming platform. Catch up. I have to catch up. And season 5 will be broadcast on the CW. And next week, I will be back with some crime stories and cases. So get ready. I'm Lauren Conlin. Thanks for listening.